Good day, everyone. Welcome to Ilewe and Japa Partners webinar. We welcome you with glad hearts. So let's wait for others to join us before we start. Thank you. Kindly type in your name and your location in the chat box. Thank you. Kindly invite everyone, your friends, family, everyone to join our webinar to enjoy and gain more information from our webinar. Thank you. And trust me, this webinar is worth your time. Kindly invite everyone, your family, your friends to join our webinar. Welcome to our webinar. Uh, Welcome to Japa Partners and Leeway webinar. We welcome you to our webinar. And my name is Femi. I'll be joining you today. Chris Akime, welcome to our webinar. Dami, you're welcome to our webinar. Please, as you're joining the webinar, kindly put your information, your locations in the chat box. Thank you. Welcome to our webinar, everyone. And this webinar is mainly for those that are once interested in Canada. If you want to know about, if you have to you want to know if you can apply to Canada, we are here to give you more information on that. Stella Shinozo from Port Harcourt, thank you for joining our webinar. Everyone, please, like you join our webinar, kindly put your location in the chat box. Thank you very much. So Saladokun, thank you from Lagos. Thank you for joining our webinar. Adekeye Taufik from Lagos, thank you for joining our webinar. And trust me, this webinar is going to give you more information and more insightful. So if you want to apply Canada, this is the right webinar for you to join. Damilola from Ibadan, thank you for joining our webinar. Gideon from Shagamu, you're welcome to today's webinar.
This is funny. When we see year 29, we join.
Good day, everyone. Welcome to Ilewe and Japa Partners webinar. Our today's webinar is going to take about talking about pursuing a master's degree in Canada despite your low grades. I know with this new Canada policy, immigration policy, a lot of people have been scared, about can I go to Canada now? Can I do this? But trust us, we're here to give you more insight, more knowledge and insight about that. And joining us today is my colleague, a study advisor, Ms. Matioga. She'll be talking about the challenges faced by students with low grades. She's going to brief us about understanding the academic landscape and all. And of course, we have a guest speaker here today, a representative from International Business University. Ms. Messi, she's going to join us today on the overview of International Business University, the programs, the value, and what the school has to offer us. And trust me, this webinar is the best webinar for you if you are looking into Canada and hope we're all sitting and listening with our pen and our books next to us and ready to gain one or two from our webinar. So joining me now, my colleague now, Ms. Metioga, she'll be she'll be talking now, and I hope we all listen and understand what she's talking about. Thank you.
All right, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much, Nifemi, for that introduction. So without further ado, let's go right into what we have to discuss for today. Can I have the next slide on the screen, please? All right, so today we will be discussing on pursuing a master's degree in Canada with second class lower or a lower grade, as you might call it. So there are a lot of challenges that that students face when applying to Canada with lower grades, like second class lower and all of that. And that's what we'll be discussing here today. Next slide, please. All right, so here's an overview of what the discussion will be all about. So first, we'll be discussing challenges faced by applicants with low grades, and then Canadian universities with flexible admission criteria for applicants with lower grades. And then we have our representative from IBU who will be speaking on, what they have to offer students with lower grades from the university, and then the question and answer session. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. All right, thank you. So getting admission into Canada, especially for masters and PhD, there's a threshold for Canadian universities, and more often than not, if you fall below the threshold, it's usually a challenge because you are faced with the challenge of not getting exactly maybe the program you want or the universities you want or you have in mind because of your class of degree and all of that. And so they prioritize students with higher grades, like the first class and the 2-1 and and the rest. But then, despite the fact that you have a lower grade, it is not a death sentence per se. It doesn't mean you cannot apply, or there are no universities in Canada that will take you or take your grade, when you apply. So there are quite a number of things you can actually do to boost your grade if you have a low grade, like having relevant work experience, and volunteering experience also goes a long way. Also having a good CV that is well put to be able to even win the heart of the person that is reading your CV, and also your motivation letter should also be so captivating that one can hardly turn from giving you an offer when you apply. And so there are schools with flexible requirements that we can help you, our team can help get admission into, and all of that. Can we move to the next slide, please? All right. Just before I continue on this, there are opportunities for you to even make up your grade. If you have a low grade, there are opportunities for you to make up your grade and be able to apply for the program that you really have in mind, like pathway programs, pre-masters and pre-bachelor's programs. So you can do this program to be able to boost your grades, and then you can apply. You can go on to apply to the particular program you have in mind for direct masters and or PhD and the rest. All right, next slide, please. Okay, here we have the challenges that applicants face when applying to universities in Canada, applicants with low grades, I mean. First on the screen, we have limited acceptance opportunities. Now, like I mentioned earlier, Canadian universities, they have a certain threshold for, applicants who are applying to the universities. And most often than not, when you fall below that threshold, it means that you might not be able to get admission to the course or the program that you want. So with low grades, your options are kind of limited because the school would want to prioritize people with higher grades than those with the lower grades. And so they will want to pick the first class or the 2-1 first, and then before they now consider the one with second class, lower, or third class. And by the time they would have considered the ones with higher grades, they probably will be left with little or no slots for people with lower grades. However, it is not a death sentence. There are opportunities for people with low grades. And another reason is heightened competition, just like in line with the first point that I mentioned, because people will want to pick applicants rather that have a higher grade. There's a competition between the people with higher grade and students with lower grades. So the university in particular will want to pick someone with a 2-1 or a first class before they can even pay attention to those people with lower grades, which is really a challenge for students looking to study in Canada. And then another reason is limited options. So because of the class of degree that you might have or you have, your options are limited. Unlike the person with the first class or the 2-1 who can easily just has quite a handful of options around, and they just have these options around them, and it's easy for them to pick and apply to any university of their choice and stand the great chance of getting other benefits. You are limited because the number of universities that could even have options for you, like the course you want to do and all, might not be so much, and then they might not even have, some of them might not even have the particular course you want to do. So you see that your options are quite limited. You don't really have so much to to look around for and all. And then another reason is access to funding. When it comes to funding opportunities, like scholarship and grants and the rest, most often than not, attention is given to people with academic excellence, like the Chevening Scholarship, the Commonwealth. You really need to be academically outstanding to be able to partake in such scholarship, because they are highly, highly competitive, and you have a lot of persons applying for it. So if you're coming with a third class or a 2-2 to come and compete with somebody with a first class that has a sorry, pardon me, that has good experience and other things that boosts them, you see that it's really a challenge because you might not really stand a chance. But then again, there are opportunities for people with lower grades and all. So like I said earlier, it is not we're not saying you cannot apply, that it's impossible for you to get admission or get funding with a lower grade, but just that the chances are quite slim compared to people with higher grades and all. Next slide, please. All right, so we have here some universities in Canada that are ready or willing to take people with low grades or 2-2. Now, given the current immigration policies that, there are a lot of changes that have occurred, and so people are limited with options. I mean, schools they can apply to, the level they can apply to, and all of that, like colleges. So people are opting for more of university programs, I mean, direct masters and all of that, because you stand better chances or a better chance of getting work permits like after your studies, and also going with your family with the master's program as it stands, given the current immigration policies for Canada. Next, please. All right, so first here we have the University Canada West, and this university takes applicants with lower grades, and they have programs in business administration and yeah, just basically business in the business department. So if you're looking to do any program in the business department, you can look, our team is here to assist you apply to this university. And for their tuition ranges from 20,000 CAD to 25,000 CAD, and the application fee varies, is not certain. So it could be 100 CAD, it could be 120 CAD, just depends. So when you choose a particular course, you get to find out which applies to the course. And then currently they have July 2024 intake available and September 2024 intake available. Next, please. All right, here we have Trent University, and this university have some programs in management. They have programs in psychology and just in the management field. So if you're looking to do anything in management, sustainability and all, you can look onto Trent University, or we can help you with your application. Our team is ready and all hands on deck to assist you with your application process. And I think that the tuition is quite reasonable. It ranges from 18,000 CAD to 46,000 CAD. So it varies. It depends on the particular program you're going for. And then the application fee for this particular school is 100 CAD to 25 CAD. And then they have September 2024 and January 2025 intakes available. All right, so here we have Royal Roads University, and they have programs in the international communication. They have in the business aspect. So if you're looking to do programs in business administration, in learning and technology, they have programs available for you. Reach out to our teams today, and we are ready to assist you with your application. And the tuition is ranges from 23,000 CAD to 37,000 CAD per year. And then the application fee for this particular school is 134 CAD. And then they have July 2024, January 2025, and July 2025 intakes available. So let us know how we can help you apply for this particular school. Next slide, please. All right, here again, we have Memorial University, Newfoundland. And this school has programs in finance, in business. They also have in the science. So if you're looking to do programs in the finance aspect or in the science aspect as well, you can reach out to us and we'll help you with your application for Memorial University, Newfoundland. And again, I think this school too, their tuition fee is quite fair. It's on the first side, as it ranges from 9,000 CAD to 15,000 CAD. And the application fee for this particular school is 120 CAD. And currently they have September 2024, May 2025, and January 2025 available. That's the intake that you can apply to. Next, we have International Business University, and they have programs in business. So if you're looking to do any program in global business, finance, and all, you can reach out to us. We'll help you apply to this school. And again, I think their tuition too is quite fair. It's 17,000 CAD per year. And then for application fee, again, it varies. It depends on the particular program you're going for. And currently, the school has May 2024 intake. And currently, the school has May 2024 intake, September 2024, and January 2025 available. So let us know how we can help you apply to this school. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Ms. Mercy, for that wonderful presentation. So joining us now is our guest speaker, a representative from International Business School, Ms. Precious Akumfile. She'll be taking us she'll be talking to us on the overview of International Business School, their programs, the values, what the school has to offer you. Okay, let's welcome her now. So she'll be taking us now on that.
Thank you very much for that. Once again, good morning to everyone who is here. Thank you for taking out the time to participate in this webinar section. My name is Precious Akumfile, and I am the school representative for the International Business University representing in Africa. And of course, I'm so much excited to be a part of this. So before we proceed, I would just like to know that everyone can hear me clearly. Just maybe signify or just before I progress.
Yes, we can.
Okay, beautiful. So right now I will be starting my presentation first with, thank you so much for that confirmation. Thank you so much. That means we can all hear me clearly, and that's very important. So before I progress, I will be starting my presentation with a video from our orientation events for January 2024 intake. So please sit back and watch. Thank you very, very much. Okay. Please, can we all see my screen?
Yes, you can see.
Okay, great. All right.
Each of you has your own story. You're coming with a very unique perspective, background, experiences. You've joined a network of people who care about your success. We're here to help you with the next step in your career, and the one after that, and the one after that. Today is the first day of this next step in your career. You have the potential to do amazing things, and your journey for that bright future starts today.
I'm actually looking forward to learning here and being ready for the next stage in my career.
I want to see myself grow professionally and academically. I'm looking forward to navigating to the future, which is filled with lots of opportunities and endless career.
Why I'm choosing IBU is because it is new, and I think the content I read is really, really interesting. In the future, I believe in two major things, which is blockchain and AI. They have ensured me these two areas is covered by the process as well.
I chose IB because of their concentration, they have something that most universities don't have: technology, innovation, and entrepreneurship. One day, I'd love to start on my own business and also take over my family business. The world is changing, technology, artificial intelligence, so you have to be innovative, you have to be hands-on with tech, and IBU is giving me those three things at a plateau. So of course, why would I choose IBU?
I'm looking forward to the career growth and networking and to engage in more multicultural environment?
IBU offers a course that's not like every other university offering, look into technology, look into innovation, look into entrepreneurship. That's what I want. I want something cutting edge. I want something that would make me grow. I want something that would make me stand as exceptional in a group of people. And yes, that is why I picked IBU.
All right. I hope we are all able to see that. Please, can I get like you know, an affirmation if you were able to watch the video clearly and you know.
Yes, we were.
Yes.
Awesome, awesome. Great. Okay, so let's move into what we have today. I'll be sharing the slides of the presentation. Okay, Tosin Oladokun, you raised your hand. Hello, Tosin. All right, so
please ignore.
All right,
please ignore.
Okay. So we'll continue with the section. I'll be sharing my slides now. All right, so this is the International Business University. I believe you all can see my screen. International Business University is a young and growing business university. It's a non-for-profit university, and it is located in downtown Toronto. Just like what you can see, the university is fully operational. We have successfully enrolled students from Africa region in the university. And as you can see, the video you just watched right now was from the students that were enrolled in January. That was last month for the January intake. So yes, we are a recognized university. We are also a designated learning institute, which means we are approved and accredited by the Canadian government. So I'll be moving to the next slide. Why IBU? When this question pops up to your mind, you might want to ask yourself, why would you choose this university? Why would you prefer to go to IBU? And then we'll be looking at the reasons in the subsequent slides. The first reason why you might want to look at IBU is reputation. And IBU stands proudly as a member of the Association to Advance Collegiate Schools of Business, which is a global association for business leaders, for business institutes. And yes, we have the approval, we have the membership and recognition from this great association. For those of you that want to look up more about AACSB, please go ahead and check more about it. So IBU is a proud member of this association. And it means that we have gone through we have done our due diligence to ensure that, our program, our curriculum, our structure, our curriculum is structured in line with the global, business requirements. So you don't have to be doubtful about IB in terms of reputation. This should be able to correct that. Then secondly, we also have an accreditation from the National Committee of Management in Canada. And that means that all our programs, either at the master's level or the bachelor's level, they can progress into chartered managerial certifications as well. So these are some of the reputations, some of the membership and accreditations that we have at IBU. Why IBU? We want to think about the location, okay? So Toronto itself is a prime location in Ontario province. In fact, it stands as a big, busy, bustling city in Ontario province. So you can't be in Toronto and you're not exposed to opportunities, right? So Toronto is a place where there's so many opportunities for you. As an emerging international student, you might want to look for how, there might be questions on how will you settle into a new culture, into a new environment, how you're going to be able to get employment opportunities and connections. Then IBU comes in here, to bring in the good thing about the location, which is Toronto. And for example, let me put it this way. Toronto is like someone living in, let's say a place like on the island, Lekki, for example. Someone living in that kind of access will be exposed to so much. I'm not saying that there are no opportunities on the other aspects of Lagos, but I say when you look at the metropolitan area, you see that there's more opportunities in terms of networking, in terms of employment. That's how it is also here. So yes, students are exposed to a lot of things, networking, employment opportunities. There's a vibrant cultural scenery display. There are tourist attractions, the destinations you can visit. You know, there's a lot of things for you. So you can never be here and, you know, be bored as an international student. So this is one of the reasons, again, you might want to consider IBU. Next, you look at opportunity. I keep saying the word opportunity, 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 and it's because it's a fact. With IBU, you have opportunity. With IBU, it's not just your regular Canadian university, okay? IBU is big on opportunities. IBU is big on student support. You can see from the video how excited and elated our students are. These are our students that are just joining us. The culture, you know, the ambience, everything is welcoming. That's why they're so confident and speaking this way, right? If they go to the campus and they don't like what they see, they will not speak in that manner. You can see the passion is there, the drive. They can't wait to get their hands on, you know, start studying, start being a part of IBU community. So what IBU offers you is just much more beyond, you know, academic framework and all that. So let's look at the opportunities, some of the opportunities. First is flexibility of our programs. IBU programs are very, very flexible. IBU programs are very, very flexible. Our programs can be completed in shorter time durations. For example, our master's program can be completed in under 16 months. Our master's program can be completed in under 16 months. And then our bachelor's, I know this program, I know this section is, you know, focused on masters, but I'll also talk about what other things that we have at IBU. Then our bachelor's program, for example, is also, you know, can be completed within under 3 years. There's a 4-year option, there's under 3 years option. This tells you how flexible IBU is, right? So yes, we have flexible programs. We have programs that can allow you to work and study. Because to an average international student, the main reason why you want to come to Canada is not just only to come and work. You want to see how you can work, how you can study while working, and you want to be able to ensure that, you know, your schooling and working, your class schedules are not clashing with your ability to work in Canada. Even if it is 20 hours you're going to work, you still need that time, right? So with IBU, we're bringing in, you know, that option for you. So our classes for the masters are very, very flexible to be able to accommodate working students that want to work and study. So you don't have clashing schedules and all that. This is one of the things that excites our students the most at IBU. Then let's look at the GMAT waivers. Now, a lot of universities will always require a GMAT for you to gain direct master's admission. Okay, that's one of the, not just only in Canada, but even in the US and some other destinations, GMAT or GRE scores will be required. Now, also at IBU, we are not exempted from this. We have a GMAT requirement. However, because of how flexible and open we are, we also have a waiver, you know, to exact this requirement. So let's say now, for example, we understand that a lot of students from African region want to welcome you to our campus. We understand, you know, the GMAT condition and all that, and we do not want that to restrict you. We have conditions so that we can waive that GMAT for you, and then you can gain admission to our master's program without writing any of this course, any of these examinations. Sounds interesting, right? So it's interesting to know that some of these students that you see that, you know, are enrolled at IBU, most of them did not even write GMAT. So that's how open and flexible our requirements can be. So we have a GMAT waiver, and I will talk about the GMAT waiver in you know, other subsequent slides. I have a slide talking about the waiver conditions. Now, third, open requirements, of course, which we are just talking about, GMAT waivers available and all that. Then another fourth thing is the PGWP eligibility. With the new Canadian laws, you know, changing so much, changing so fast, and you know, a lot of, I wouldn't use the word confusion, but I would say a lot of them, you know, people are asking questions, a lot of unanswered questions about the status of international students in Canada. I just want to tell you something. Don't fret. Don't fret. There are still ways that you can still come and study in Canada and still be able to obtain your postgraduate work permits. Now you see that with a master's degree, you can even come to Canada with your family. So IBU is one of those Canadian universities you might look at if you want to achieve this dream. The university, when you're done with your studies, you can qualify for up to 3 years postgraduate work permits with a degree from IBU, whether it's the master's or even the bachelor's. We qualify, we have that qualification and that accreditation. So this ticks the box for you as an international student. Then I will go to the next slide. Okay, so I know this section is focused on masters, but like I said, I would also talk about what we have at IBU. So that's, I don't know who is here and who wants to, look at other options for people they know or share this with other people they know. We also have the undergraduate program at IBU, and here are some of the courses that we have. This Bachelor of Commerce program, I've told you earlier that it can be completed in under 3 years or the normal 4 years. And they're all honors program. Okay, they are full degree programs, please. They are full degree programs, and you can see that they are specialized and innovative programs, right? So we have the International Management and Technology, we have Digital Sales and Marketing Management, we have Business Management, and then we have IT Management, which is Information Technology Management. These are unique programs that will offer you different, opportunities, different career pathway opportunities, right? So I'll move to the master's program that we have. These are the master's program that we have at IBU. At IBU, because we are a business university, so definitely the degree you're coming out with will be an MBA, a Master of Business Administration. But here is the catch. Our MBA programs are specialized. That means we have it in focused areas. So IBU, we are very, very big on, we are centered on innovation. We want our programs to be unique, to be centered, to be streamlined to a particular focus, so that students can have, various career pathways. With the emergence of technology, we understand how important it is for an international student to have some certain technical skills so that they can thrive in the business world, right? So this is why we have these programs at IBU. And you can see, look at the programs that we have. Master of Business Administration in Technology, Innovation, and Entrepreneurship. And for some of you, this might be the first time you are even seeing such a program. Well, this is a very unique program. I wouldn't want to go into so much details. Of course, the team at Ilewe is there to guide you on, more about this program, give you one-on-one counseling after this section for those of you that will be meeting them on how you can apply to IBU. So we have the Technology, Innovation, and Entrepreneurship, an MBA degree. We have the MBA in Global Business Management. Then we have the Master of Business Administration in Financial and Management Analytics. Very, very good. And the unique thing about our programs is that, we welcome students from any background of study. We are not limiting you at IBU, whether you studied sciences, humanities, engineering, health, education, arts. There's always a place for you at IBU. There's always somewhere that you can fit in at IBU community. So I want you to hold on to that while you make your, while you progress with your applications at IBU. Okay, so we'll be looking at who is the ideal student. For me, I would say everyone that has a zeal to become the next generation business leader. It goes from undergraduate students, working professionals, or entrepreneurs seeking for innovative and career-focused programs to thrive in any industry and to become a next generation business leader. The question is, would you want to become the next generation business leader? All right, so I'll be moving to the next slide. So why IBU again? We are still on that. Affordability. And what does affordability mean to you? You might want to ask yourself that question. And how does IBU provide low, flexible tuition fees? We'll be looking at the tuition fees in the next slide right now. All right, so this is the tuition fees that we have. This gives you an idea of how much would you need to study at IBU. Now, for our graduates, I will focus more on the graduate because this section is, I want to believe that the larger population of people, participants here, are people that are looking for master's degree in Canada. So I'll focus more on the graduates' tuition fees. Now, for our tuition fees for all our MBA programs, all the 3 MBA programs that we listed, tuition fee is at 8,625 Canadian dollars per semester. 8,625 Canadian dollars per semester. And for you to graduate, you need to complete 4 semesters. It can take you as fast as 16 months. So 8,624 Canadian dollars into 4 places, that's just 34,500. This is the total fee that you need to graduate, or you need to complete your study as a graduate student at IBU. Now, when you compare these fees to other master's fee in the same province, where you will see that we are offering something way, way, way affordable and low. That means on the average, what you're paying per year is about 17,250 Canadian dollars, which is even lower than 20,000 CAD. So you look at it and weigh the options. And then you see that, oh, well, you are having value for your money even more. So I know a lot of people will be very much interested in this. It will also interest you to know that, of course, when you gain a deposit, will definitely be the first semester fee, okay, for you to continue, progress to getting your letter of acceptance and all that. So I'll be focusing on, okay, yes, the admission turnaround time is 7 to 10 working days at IBU. And most times it even comes out even quite shorter than this. And this is just a scale of, oh, this is maximum 7 to 10 working days at IBU. So we have a fast turnaround time, and you can see that, this is a very, very good option for our students. Now, for the admission requirements, I'll be focusing on the graduates' requirements, and we have very, very flexible requirements, like I mentioned earlier. In the earlier slides, I talked about the GMAT waivers, right? So it's in this slide that we'll discuss how you can, be able to get, meet the conditions to waive your GMAT. And the first thing to note is that what we require is, number one, on the graduate transcripts. We are very flexible. We are very flexible that the transcripts can be official or unofficial. We can take official, we can take unofficial transcripts at IBU. And undergraduate certificate is also required as well. That's your final degree certificate. So our prerequisite is a bachelor's degree. A bachelor's degree is our prerequisite for admission. So that's the basis of the admission. Now, the minimum percentage that we accept is a 60% grade, and this translates to 3.0 out of 5 in Nigeria scaling system. It translates to a 3.0 out of 5. So this is what this is our minimum requirements. Now with a 2.2, this still falls under a 2.2. With this degree, with this percentage, in addition to about 3 years plus work experience, this is what is required for GMAT waivers. In addition to 3 years plus work experience, this is what is required for GMAT waivers. So if you have a second class lower in translation of 3.0 and above, with 3 years plus work experience, you can get the GMAT waiver at IBU. Please do not forget this. This information is very, 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 very important. Now, I'll move to the fresh graduates. You might be asking, I don't have work experience. Do I have a place at IBU? Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You can qualify for our GMAT waiver if you have about second class upper. That's when you can qualify. That's for fresh graduates. But if you have a second class lower as a fresh graduate without working experience, you can get admission at IBU, but you might be required to submit a GMAT score for an unconditional offer. You might get a conditional offer, but you'll be required to submit a GMAT score. Now, this is how it is. And you agree with me that, well, this is quite fair in terms of, the GMAT policies or requirement policies for many institutions, many business institutions, right? So this is one good news I'm presenting this morning. You have a second class lower within this GPA range. I've just made it very easy for you to understand, and you have more than 3 years work experience. Please and please just know that, yes, there's a place for you at IB. You can get an unconditional offer. at IBU. That means your GMAT requirements will be waived up for you. And if you're a fresh graduate, you don't have work experience, because one of the bases of our admission is experience. But we understand that yes, the fresh graduates too might want to progress. So that's why we are keeping it at this. Then you might want to see that you have a second class upper, and that's from 3.5. So yes, do you require statement of purpose at IBU to get an admission? No. Only in 2 cases, for people that are applying as a second master's and for people that have more than 10 years study gap, because the study gap requirement is 10 years at IBU. So when you have 10 years study gap, or when you have more than 10 years study gap, it's questionable, right? You might want to put in a statement of purpose to answer that question, or explain the study gap. So that's why we have it here at 10 years study gap. You don't need statement of purpose, but anything beyond 10 years, then you just have to explain that. And I think this is also good in terms of your visa processing as well, if you have so much study gap. So this has been well stated. I'll be taking your questions very soon, do not worry. Then let's go to some of the good things about IBU. Waivers. This is a very, very interesting part too. We have IELTS waivers, meaning that as a Nigerian, you're not required to submit an IELTS score at IBU. You're a Nigerian, you're a Ghanaian, you're a Kenyan national, and you're listening to this webinar, you're not required, right? So there's waivers for you. Now, GMAT waiver, I threw some light about that in the previous slide, that with a minimum of 60%, that's like a 3.0 in our Nigerian scale. On the 5.0 scale, 60% will translate to 3.0. So with that, you're waived from writing GMAT, and 3 years plus experience. Now, another good waiver we have is the application fee waiver. So at IBU, there's 0 charges. For any of our programs you're applying, we don't charge an application fee. So that's the good waivers that we have at IBU. And I hope that, from what you've heard, you want to make very good use of the opportunity that you've learned today. Now, we'll just wrap up. We're coming to the end of my section. And we talk about, just to recap, why IBU, you want to talk about the reputation, the accreditations that we have, the recognition that we have, you want to look at the location, the prime location at where IBU is situated, and what you can benefit. Look at the good side about the location. Don't just say, oh yeah, I know Ontario, I know Toronto's. A lot of people I know, they shy away from Toronto because of living expenses and all that, which I understand is quite on the high side. But when you look at the opportunities that you'll be exposed to, I think it's something you might want to reconsider. And then you look at the opportunities that IBU presents for you as an international student, the fact that you are eligible or you qualify for the postgraduate work permit of 3 years after you graduate. Look at that. You look at the unique programs that we are offering you. You look at the open requirements, how flexible our requirements are. Not so many stringent requirements. We have GMAT waivers, flexibility on that. With your second class lower, you can still apply. With your second class lower and your work experience, 3 years plus work experience, you can still apply and get admission to study masters at IB, which is a good thing for you. So these are the things you might want to look at. And then again, you look at affordability. Look at the fees that you're paying. The total fees is very much more affordable, for a master's degree program. So I think with this, you should be able to make informed decisions about where, how you want to begin your journey. So I would leave with this quote. I would say, you are your own biggest asset. You have to invest in yourself relentlessly, and then you'll see that you'll be able to guide your own success. So with this, I really, really want to say thank you all for listening. Thank you for this opportunity and this platform. And if you want to, kickstart your journey at IBU, please feel free to meet the team at Ilewe Education. They will guide you through. I cannot wait to receive your applications. I cannot wait to see that, you're going to be joining the next intake. Whether it's May or September, we have open sections at the moment, open intakes at the moment. So please, you might want to meet with the team at Ilewe for further guidance on how to kickstart your application. Thank you very much. And yes. Over to you, Ilewe Education. Hello.
All right, thank you, Mrs. Precious. That was a very great presentation. That was good. Thank you so much, Mrs. Precious. And I believe everyone has really learned one or two things, because immediately you started, people started dropping questions, and that shows that people are really, they find this body. And okay, so we have a lot of questions here, Mrs. Precious. So if you don't mind, I will take the first question that I have here. And just a second. Okay. All right. So the first question from Samuel. Samuel says, what's my fate at IBU as a third class graduate? Yeah. I guess say he has third class and he would like to know if there's still a possibility of him applying. Do you want me to read all the questions, or we just take it one after the other?
Let's take it one after the other. I will start with Samuel's question. Samuel, thank you very much for that question. I get it a lot from a whole lot of Nigerians about that. Well, currently right now, we accept a minimum of second class lower, and I've already stated the GPE requirement just for better clarity. For third class lower, I wouldn't want to put out your chances out there that, oh, just try. There's nothing like trial. It's either you're in or you're not in. So I wouldn't advise you to apply with the third class at IBU so that you don't have reduced chances of getting admission. Yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you, Mrs. Precious. Okay, so to just add to what Mrs. Precious said, Samuel, please do not give up. Help on that and further options. Okay, so Dabi here says, oh, okay, so I think this is for, I'm not sure this is for this particular question, for what we're doing, what division. Yes, Dabi, you can study advisors via the email addresses provided on the chat box. And of course, just like Mrs. Precious had said, with your secretary, very welcome. And we will be, of course, for you. All right, so log 2. Yes, you can. I believe Mrs. Precious has explained explicitly on, you even going ahead to take IBU as one of your options. So, weigh options. You can apply to IBU, you can apply to all the other schools we've presented. Please do well to reach out to any of our study advisors via the email addresses provided on the chat box. Yomi, if you can do well to, just post that again so that people that are just joining can see that and know the documents they're expected to send to us. Okay, so I think this is for you, Mrs. Precious. I did not get this person's name. He or she says, what is the time frame for first semester tuition payment for IBU? So can you help with that?
Okay, thank you so much for that. So our time frame, when you get your pre-offer letter from IBU, you are expected to pay your tuition deposit within 20 days, 20 working days, yes, after you have gotten your offer. So I will encourage you as an international student that even before you begin your application to IBU, you should already have prepared your first semester deposit, because there's no time and we don't want you to miss out on that intake. We understand how the visa processing takes long in Nigeria. You want to apply for September, for example, and then you are applying in, you're paying your tuition deposit in August. It's not going to work, right? So there is a time frame of 20 working days on the offer letter. You're giving 20 working days to at least pay your tuition deposits. I think you should work within that time frame. And I always tell people, if you know you're committed to studying in Canada, before you start any application, make sure that your tuition deposits is ready, because that is what will kickstart your visa. Once you get that, we send you your letter of acceptance, and then you start visa processing immediately. So I think that, that answers the question. Thank you so much.
All right, the next question is from Chris Akime. His question is: the GMAT waiver automatic when you meet the third class working experience? I think this is for you, Ms. Precious.
I can't hear the question very well. Could you please, repeat?
Okay. His question is the GMAT waiver automatic when you meet the third class working experience?
Repeat that question. I didn't get it. I think the network was crashing.
Can you hear me now?
Okay, please, could you speak a little bit louder? I'm losing you.
Mrs. Precious, can you hear me now?
All right, it's coming on clear. Please, could you repeat the question again?
Okay, so Chris Akime is asking that, is the GMAT waiver automatic when one meets, the person has over 3 years working experience? Is the GMAT waiver automatic?
Yes, it is. It's automatic when you meet the minimum requirements. Most times you're not told to even write GMAT. It's automatic. The GMAT waiver is automatic. There is no separate application, or you're doing something else extra to get the GMAT waiver. By meeting the minimum requirements, automatically you get a waiver. Yes, please. Please, can I have the next question?
Okay, the next question is from Abibat Usman. A question is, I graduated in 2022. Can I be considered a fresh graduate too?
She graduated in 2022.
Yes.
Then if she graduated in 2022, of course she can get admission. Does she have a second class upper? If she has a second class upper, we can waive out the experience requirements for her. And then I want to also note something, that for our experience requirements, it's not just only after graduation. We don't just only consider that. We consider even during your undergraduate years. So if you were the type that you were working while in school, up to the time, we consider, we combine all the work experience. If it is more than 3 years work experience, yes, that counts for the experience requirements. So if she doesn't have any work experience at all, she didn't work in school, and she just finished in 2022, which is not up to 3 years, then we'll look at the fact that she has the minimum of second class upper to qualify for admission and GMAT waiver. But if she does not have second class upper, then she can get conditional offer with a proof that she has booked for her GMAT exam. I hope she can hear me here. Yes. She can still get admission with second class lower, but with a proof that she has booked for her GMAT examinations, and she'll be able to score 560. So that's what we can do for her. Thank you.
All right, thank you. We have another question from Honings. His question is your school fees payment flexible?
Thank you so much. And yes, one thing about us is the flexibility. Aside the deposit, which is one of the rest, the other, payments are spread across every semester. So it's divided semester by semester. You pay the first semester deposit tuition fee. The next one you'll be looking at is the second semester fee, which is you finished a whole semester before that. So yes, it's so flexible. Our fees are always due at the start of each semester. At the start of each semester, and it's semester by semester, not year by year, semester by semester. That 8,625 is per semester, and there are 4 semesters at IABU. I hope this clarifies the question. Thank you.
Thank you. We have another question from Olawole Babalola. Question is, do you have any program in education that fit into the 2-2 minimum requirements?
Sorry, you'll have to repeat that. I didn't get the question.
All right. The question is, do you have any programs in education that fit into the 2-2 minimum requirements?
Do you have any program in education?
Yes, that fit into the 2-2 minimum requirements.
That fits into the minimum requirements. So he's asking, if I get him correct, if we have any program in education, right? Programs that I outlined, those are the programs we have currently now. And hopefully we are looking at unveiling more programs out there by this year and by next year, hopefully. When we started IB, we started with just one program, and that was the MBA in Technology, Innovation, and Entrepreneurship. As of December, we launched 2 extra programs, the Global Business Management and Financial Management Analysis. So you might want to look at these 2 options, which one, you can do as an educationist. You might want to look at either the Master of Business Administration in Technology, Innovation, and Entrepreneurship, or the Global Business Management. These are the 2 programs, but a purely education, master's program, we don't have that right now at IB. Thank you.
All right. We have another question from Yusuf. The question is from Ahmed Yusuf. Is there any scholarship opportunities?
All right, so thank you very much. We have scholarships as undergraduates. Yes, for those that are coming for bachelors, there's a scholarship opportunity up to 18,000 Canadian dollars. They can get up to that. From African region, yes, there's a bursary attached to their tuition fee. Why for the MBA, we don't have a spelled out bursary right now? Because, of course, our tuition fees have already been, subsidized, or will I say discounted in a way. We're not charging extremely high for a business university. So we don't have any separate or extra scholarship on that tuition amount at master's level. Yeah.
All right. We also have a question from Collins too. I think he just answered the question, because the question is regarding the school fees, financial assistance in the school fees payments. I think he just answered that now. So I'll move to the next question. We have another question from Amity Brown. According to Amity Brown, it wasn't connected when you mentioned the what is the tuition deposit for a program?
Tuition deposits?
The tuition deposit.
Okay, so tuition deposits for master's program is 8,625 Canadian dollars. For the purpose of this webinar, this is what you should know. And then before you begin your admission, your application, just ensure that, oh, can I pay this deposit? Can I be able to afford this? If you can, and you have that readily available, of course, because why I'm saying this is that I don't want you to be stuck in the process. I understand how frustrating it can be when you want to apply to university and then you get stuck because of, fees or whatever. So that's why I tend to provide these key informations at settings like this, since we're already looking at IBU as an institution of choice. So yes, our tuition fees are affordable. Our deposits are one-time payments. So the one-time payment will cover your first semester fees. So that means at IBU, when you get there, you don't have to pay any extra tuition fee that first semester. You have completed it. And this is also a good one for your visa process. It will help you. It has explained some of your financial commitment to your school, right? When you're applying for visa. The visa officer can see that you have completed your first semester, your full first semester fee. So the deposit is 8,625 to cover the full first semester fee at IBU. That's for the masters.
Thank you, Ms. Precious. So I think another question we have here is 5 with almost 10 years work experience.
Please, could you repeat that question again?
Okay, the question is, can I apply? Hold on, please. Just give me a minute. Can I apply with CGPA of 2.65 with almost 10 years work experience.
Wow, a CGPA of 2.65 when converted
Yes.
to North American scale would not equate to a 60%. Now, I would not lie to you at this point. Your chances of admission might be very slim. Yes, it's a 2-2, but we do not know if you can, your chances of admission, the truth is that it might be very slim. And even if the school decides to give you admission, it will be case by case. So I wouldn't want you to gamble with your admission. For me, I wouldn't want students to gamble with applications. When you know the school is saying 60%, and when you convert 60%, it gives you, I think, about 3.0 out of on a 5.0 scale. I don't know what it is on the 7.0 scale for people from other universities in Nigeria. So you might want to look at, sticking to that. But if you still want to just, put it out there to say, oh, well, I have a strong background and I want to see, just know that it will be case by case, and chances of admission is not so promised. All right, so I hope I've been able to answer that anyway. For all the best to that applicant. Okay, can I have the next question?
Okay, yes, we have another question from Tosin Oladokun.
Okay.
Enuma, by my calculations, to study in IBU, I need approximately 40 million Canadian dollars. I think he meant 40 million naira.
Please, can I have that question again?
According to the question, by my calculations, to study at IBU, I need approximately 40 million Canadian dollars. I think he meant to say 40 million naira.
40 million Canadian dollars, did you say?
Yes, that was the question. I think he meant to say naira.
Okay, so now I will not be calculating on what you have out there at black market. I will be calculating on the standard CBN rates, because when you look at aside the deposits, which of course you have to pay while you are in Nigeria, I think the rest of the payments you don't pay while you are in Nigeria, you pay while you are over there. And if you're submitting your visa, I'm not a visa officer, just a disclaimer, but if you're submitting your applications, you will not be showing the equivalent in the black market rates. I think standardly you should do that with the official bank rates. Now, I do not know what the official bank rates are currently, but I know it should be way lower than that if we are looking at how much you're going to have. So I don't know if it is 40 million right now or not. You might want to check the official bank rates to be sure. I don't know if this calculation is coming from a point of the unofficial rate or however it is. But what I know is that at IB right now, our tuition compared to what you have there for a 2-year study program. Yeah.
All right. We have another question from Mr. Kachina. The question is, housing prices is very high, especially in Toronto. How can you get an accommodation?
Thank you so much for that question about housing. Right now at IBU, we do not provide on-campus housing right now. We don't have an on-campus housing right now as IBU. For now, like I said, maybe in the future, yes, that will be implemented. But as it stands as now, we do not have that. But that does not, how do I put it? It does not deter our students from still joining us. It does not deter or hinder them. We still have successful students that have, arrived on campus and settled well, even from Nigeria and other parts of African region. So I would implore you to try to resolve or sort out accommodation before you arrive in Canada. Make the necessary arrangements that you want to make before you arrive in Toronto itself. So that's what I would want to employ you to do. Alternatively, when you also have your visa approved, you might want to reach out for me to add you to, a WhatsApp group of other Nigerian students that are there in case you want to ask questions. I mean, for those that have already gotten their visa approved, there's a support system here that I have created for people from Nigeria. So what I can do is you can reach out so that you can be added to a WhatsApp group where you can be able to interact with your fellow Nigerians who are already studying at IBU. I know that you have questions to ask them, right? But that is when you have already gotten your visa approved, not before that. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Ms. Precious. That was a very insightful session. We really appreciate your presence here today. And I can see that people still have questions, but our time is fast spent, and would encourage you to book a consultation with us so we can address your questions in-depthly. And I've also dropped our email addresses and our phone numbers in the chat box, so you can go back to it and send us your questions or to book a consultation with us. And if you're also interested in starting your admission application with us, you can reach out to us as well with your documents, and we'll be very happy to help you process your admission to Canada. So here's our contact details. You can reach out to us on any of these platforms, on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, whatever platform it is, you can reach out to us, and we would be happy to help you with your admissions and also your visa applications. So we have come to the end of this session. Thank you very much to everyone that participated. We really, really appreciate your presence today. Thank you, Ms. Precious. We are very grateful. We have really learned a lot, and we are very happy to have you here. We look forward to having more webinars with you. And so thank you everyone for joining today. We have come to the end of today's webinar. Please, like I said earlier, reach out to us so we can start your applications. If you have questions, you can reach out to us. So thank you everyone for joining. Have a nice day. Bye.